Hello everyone, thank you so much for watching this video. This video is all about real estate gains in Vedic astrology. I'm sure a lot many people would be excited to learn this topic and you might be waiting for this video to be telecast in my YouTube channel. So here comes the video. I would like to just restrict this video for maybe hardly maximum until for 6 to 7 minutes because I don't want to bore you and I don't want to bombard you with lot much of knowledge and you feel that it is very overwhelming. Okay, so let's get into the topic straight away. So basically, when you talk about real estate matters, you got to analyze the fourth house in your birth chart. And if at all you talk about the gains, then you need to analyze the second house, seventh house, and the 11th house. If at all you're talking the ancestral property, then you need to analyze the ninth house as well, because ninth house talks about property from ancestors. Okay, and most importantly, your fourth house talks about real estate matters. If at all any yoga forming in your birth chart, any Dhana Yoga or any Panch Mahapurusha Yoga, any Raja Yoga that is forming. It can be a Kirti Yoga, it can be Gajakeshari Yoga, it can be Emperor Yoga, it can be Panch Mahapurusha Yoga, it can be Neech Bhanga Raja Yoga. Any Raja Yoga that is forming in your birth chart, it's a strong indication that you will be getting a gains through real estate. You'll be getting a good amount of money, good amount of wealth and prosperity and abundance through property. Okay, if at all the fourth house lord is placed in the 10th house, if at all fourth house lord is placed in the 11th house, it's a strong indication that this Dhana Yoga formed, you'll be making a wealth through real estate. Okay, and a lot of people who are booming into the real estate industry, the great builders, okay, all those people will be having this yoga for sure, somewhere or other in their birth charts. Okay, so if at all fourth house lord is exalted, it's a strong indication again that you'll be making very good gains through real estate. Okay, exalted as in like the planet will get its energy, double the energy than it is, so it will start giving you double the results that it's supposed to give. Okay, and if at all fourth house planet nakshatra is placed in the friendly sign, then it's an indication that you'll be getting good gains through real estate. Okay, if the fourth house lord is placed in the ninth house, that means you'll be getting the property through your ancestors. Okay, and the ninth house lord is placed in the 11th house, or the ninth house lord is placed in the second house, again strong indication that you'll be getting the good gains through real estate. The reason why I'm talking about here, because the ninth house talks about a property through ancestors, 11th house talks about gains in your life. It can be wealth, it can be fulfillment of your desires and wishes. Second house talks about your assets, your savings. Okay, so any relationship between the fourth house and the ninth house with second and the 11th house, it's a strong indication that you'll be getting the good gains through real estate. Okay, and also your D9 chart also to be analyzed. Not many people just ignore the D9 chart. D9 chart is nothing but a Navamsha chart, which will be very next to your Lagna chart, your natal chart. Okay, the D9 chart will get activated after the age of 30. So you have to analyze both the D1 chart and the D9 chart to come into a conclusion about any prediction in Vedic astrology. So what are the combinations which I just told? You have to check in the D9 chart as well. And the D4 chart also to be analyzed. D4 chart particularly talks about your fourth house. If at all we check your fourth house of your D1 chart with a microscopic eye, then obviously the D4 chart will be formed. Okay, so the D4 chart also have to check, especially the second house and the 11th house, because second and 11th are the wealth giving houses. If at all we need to check any person's whether this person having the blessing from the finances perspective, whether this person can able to make the financial stability in the life, all those things can be checked from the second house, fifth house, 11th house. Most importantly, second and 11th, because second house talks about tangible, intangible assets. 11th house talks about incoming gains. It can be wealth. Okay, and the 9th house and 5th house talks about house of fortune. Okay, if at all any combination between the 4th house and the 5th house, let's say the 4th house lord is placed in the 5th house, if the 4th house lord is placed in the 9th house, or a vice versa, then there is an indication that this person will be getting the good amount of wealth through real estate all of a sudden, out of great luck. The reason being because 5th and 9th houses are fortune houses. If at all you have a strong 5th and 9th houses, all of a sudden you'll be getting a very good amount of wealth from the nowhere. Okay, so and also 8th house also sometimes works in a very favor for a lot many people. Okay, even the 6th house, In my previous video, I would have told that 6th house talks about enemies, obstacles, and challenges. Obviously, 6th house is termed as upachaya houses or apacha houses, which nobody likes to have that relation in the birth chart. I mean, any of the zodiac sign, any of the planetary alignment should not be touching the 6th and 8th houses. But if at all 6th house Lord get exalted, if the 6th house Lord is sitting in the friendly sign, if the 6th house is receiving the Jupiter aspect, then obviously there will be win over the enemies. You'll be able to fight in a litigation and you'll be able to win over the property. So that generally happens if at all the 6th house is very stronger in your birth chart. And if at all 8th house is very stronger, then obviously you'll be getting the property from your in-laws, because 8th house talks about in-laws. Okay, you'll be marrying to somebody who's super rich enough, and obviously you'll be getting the property through your spouse. Obviously that generally happens if at all you have strong 7th and 8th house. If the 7th house Lord is sitting in the 8th house, this is what generally happens. Okay, lot many people debate with me that if at all 7th house Lord is placed in the 8th house, obviously there'll be some kind of friction or the marital life disturbances, because 7th house talks about spouse and 8th house talks about sudden downfall. That may not be true all the time, because if at all 8th house is very strong, if at all 8th house having Rahu, if the 8th house having the great planets like any exalted planet for that matter, so that works really well in the 8th house as well. Okay, so each and every birth chart is very unique enough. You have to analyze the birth chart from a very deeper perspective, right from the yogas, right from the nakshatras, right from the zodiac sign it is sitting, right from the aspects it is receiving, right from the planetary alignment that 4th house is having in the birth chart. Have to be carefully analyzed to come into a conclusion that this person will be getting the property gains as per his planetary alignment in the birth chart. And of course, everything matters as per the karmic cycle. Okay, so all we have to do is just apply the principles and strategies which I'm teaching you in the birth chart, and have to analyze the birth chart to understand about real estate matters. Okay, so it's a very broad subject actually to talk about, and to summarize, actually your 4th house has to be very strong. Your 4th house planet should be sharing the friendly sign. Your 4th house Lord or the 4th house planet should be forming a yoga to get a good amount of wealth through real estate. Okay, so thank you so much for watching this video. If you don't need my astrological consultations, the link is mentioned in the description section. Do book for an astrological consultation. Once you book once you get a consultation order, I'll be able to help you with the complete analysis pertinent to your individual birth chart. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now. Please like, share and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and do share this video with your family and friends. Thank you. Bye bye.